Okay, I think we can get started now. Let's just go through the skeleton, our starting point. That's something that you could prepare now. So here we have 35 columns that will allow us to put 5 weeks. Some months are longer than 4 weeks, so if you want to do it month by month, then you'll be able to. And then we just put another one, so that's 36. So this is just as a guide. We can remove them at the end. And I have 3 blocks here where I will be putting my summary per week. Obviously 7 long and 5 tall, 7, 5, 7, 5. But I will put 7 cells in between, 7 cells in between. Now we just leave 4 or 5 cells there, and after we just allow 2 rows for the dates. So one will be for the month, the other one for the day. And then we get started with our exercise log. So obviously this is 35 long as well. I have selected 9. You might want more or less, but I suggest that you have at least a good number. So if you want to add things later on, then you can. I've put some examples here using dumbbells and standing, no other thing, no need to go to the gym, but those are obviously samples only. And the cardio, I have also some here. And then what I have balance here, so you might not be into balance, although it's quite important as well. But if you want to put the balance as well here, so that's, I have 9, a blank, 9, a blank, and 9. And I will be doing some basic formatting. Actually, I could start formatting with this. I just put a white font to this. And then I I'm just going to start with a green, a deep green here. So I'm using the new Microsoft theme here. So you need to use the latest theme if you want to follow the color that I have. But towards the end, I'll show you obviously how you can change colors within your themes. Okay, so, and here I'm not going to overdo it with the color. So for this, I'm just going to leave it gray. We can see in the end if we can just add more colors to this, but if we put more colors, then we could overwhelm the screen. Okay, now the next one, I'm just going to put the purple one. So I'm just going to go for something quite deep, and I'm going to put the white font, and then I'm just going to select one cell here for my painter, and I'm going to paint over to make sure I have the same gray. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to do the same for the last one, the balance. But the color of the heading here, I want to be consistent, and I want to give a nice blue. Yes. So as we progress, obviously we can change the coloring or the likes. So towards the end, you can get a better view, and then you can decide if some colors are too overwhelming or not, and then we can fine-tune this. So let's start with the log itself. I'm going to apply the default color to this. Here we're going to stay with the green theme, and we're going to put a light. I just take the bright light one, and I am going to put a border that is white as well. So I'm just going to put a border that is white, and I'm going to put the outline and the inside. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to press F4. So this way that will apply the white borders. And something that I want to do actually straight away is remove the grids. View, grid lines, and tick. Okay, so we have the basic color for this. So now what I want to do is I want to apply a formatting to this. As soon as a cell is not empty, I want to put a deeper color of that green. So how do we do that? I want to allow even blank as a value here. So I will need to create a new rule, and I will use a formula. And in the formula, I'm just going to say the condition of the formula will be this field here, and I press F4 a couple of times, 3 times actually, to remove all the dollars. So this way that will apply to the whole grid. I want this to be different to blank. And what do I do when it's different to blank? Well, I just apply, I go to the fill, and I apply a deeper color. It's going to put the third accent here, so it's a little bit deeper. Okay, so now this works for this one. Now I need to apply it to the whole grid. So apply to, I click on it and I select the full grid. Okay, apply. Now I want to do the same for the others. So what I could do is I could just duplicate that rule, but before I do that, I'm just going here. I'm just going to put here the background as a purple. So if I go back here, if I want to duplicate that rule, I can. That's one way to doing it. So I just duplicate the rule and I click on here, and instead of applying to this, I'm applying to that. And obviously, once it's done, I need to make sure that I've changed this to that one here. This. And then I change the format here. Take this one. The third one. Let's see if it works. Yes. And then finally for this. So this one I'm going to do it again from scratch. A bit of variety. What next? Next thing we can do is play around with the date. I'm just going to allow for the users to input a start date. So when do they want this to start? Bearing in mind, there's a lot of week by week data here. So they might want to start on a Monday or a Sunday or something along those lines. So for instance, here I'm going to put 1st of February 2024. And here my first date, I will be taking it from here, 1st of February 2024. And this one too, I will be taking it from here. Now this one under will be for the day. So what I do is I take the one on the left and I had 1 day, and I do that all along. Now we don't see much, so just while we build it, I might just put it a bit wider so we know what we're dealing with. What I want to do now is I want to format this. I want to format all this. I right click on it, format cells. And the number, I want to show only the day. So I'm just going to put day here, D. So that shows only the day. It's all very good. 29th of Feb, it's 1st of March after that. So here I want to put the month. But as the cells will be quite narrow, what I'll be doing is I'll be actually merging those two. And I'm just going to do the formatting now so we know what we are doing. So here I'm just going to put the month 3 M's so that we can have the month spelled out. So I've merged the cells 2 by 2, and I just want to show the month when there's a change of month. So in order to do that, I just need to put a little formula here. Just if there's a change of month, then I will show the field. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave blank. I copy that across. Okay, now we can start putting the formatting here at the top. So in order to do that, I need to do some calculations. So I'm just going to put them at the bottom, so this way we can hide them. I'm just going to do a count A for every day. Count A, so we'll count how many of those fields is empty. Even when there's a blended count, so this is allowing me to count how many of those exercises I've done each day. So I'm just going to drag that along. I might just put a reminder here so that I can remember I come from. Okay, strength here. And then I'm going to do accumulation. If I use a word that exists. So I'm just going to add the total to the current day. So I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to drag that along. Yes, that should give me the total as we progress. Now I'm going to do the same for cardio. I'm just going to put the cardio here. I'm just going to copy all this. I'm going to put it here. Whoa. Now, obviously, this would have to be, I just click on this first row here, and I need to make sure that I'm dragging this. And once done, I'm just going to drag everything this way. And then I do balance, or the third type of exercise that you have. Put it in bold. And I'm going to copy all this. And I'm just going to recoup this. So while I'm at it, I'm just going to do a sum of this. I'm doing a sum. I'm just putting the sum here, and I'm putting the sum here. Now, there is actually something that I want to do now, and I'm just going to put them all here. It's not necessary in order to show here the rounded circles that we have, round circles, yes, that we have. I needed to know week by week the progress. So one row is 1 week, so week 1 here. We don't need to leave that on, it's just to show you it's pretty clear what it is, but if you want to leave them, you can. Just put this here, week 5. So I need to break that down week by week. So the first, I'm just going to take this one here, and I'm just going to make sure that I copy only the first 7, 3, 4, 6, 7. So, and here I'm just going to copy the second week. Here I'm going to copy the 3rd week. Here I'm going to copy the 4th week, and here the 5th week. You got it. So I can just happily drag this now for the 7, and just for me to remind myself, actually this is the green, remind myself that we are working with green. I'm just going to put it here, and now under this one here, I'm just going to do the same for the second one, because this is what we'll be using. Okay, so for this, I'm going to take this. That will be for 7. And this one here is it 29. To make sure I got this right. And then I'm doing the same here. Okay. So this is it. So now I'm ready to do the top part of this. So to get me started, what I want to do is I want to have, once again, a very pale green. Even the green here might be a bit too strong. I want something very pale. So if you want something even paler than what pale is what the palest color is, you go here, you go under more colors, and you try to bring that up, which should bring the color down. This time, I want a different type of border. I want a gray border. Up for debate, but this is my choice at this point in time. Okay, and what I want to put in this is I want to insert a symbol, and the symbol that I chose was something from the 𝐻𝐵𝐷𝑖𝑛𝑔s here, and I've chosen this circle here, and I just need to make sure that I put it right in the center. So here for the gray, I'm just going to take this one here, the first one here, and I'm just going to copy that across everywhere, because this is our baseline. And actually, while I'm at it, I could just copy that here. I know I will have to remove the background, but at least we have something to get us started. So, and I feel that now I need to put a darker border, so I'm just going to go back here, and for the border I'm just going to take also this one here, a deeper gray. Obviously this will have to change as well, so we're talking about the purple one here, so we just take this one. If this is too strong for you, you know how to do it. Go back here, give it a paler, done. Select it all, and we're going to have to use this part here, because we're talking about the green here. Conditional formatting, manage rule, new rule, use a formula. And this Now we are referring to this. So this, if I press F4, so this way I can carry it across all this. I can say this must be different from 0. I could say just greater than 0 actually. And then as a formatting, I'm going to put the strong green here. But we don't want to do what I just did. It's not the fill. The fill, you just need to not touch it. You put the font instead, because this is actually a character that we have here. So if I take the green here as a font for this, I apply it, and that's it. Now, the mistake I made is that I played with the fill. I made the mistake of playing with the fill. So now if I go back here, I just need to make sure that for the fill, I want to clear it. Is that going to work? Yes. So I cleared it. Now, if I apply the formatting to this, the conditional formatting, say, I'm going back into my conditional formatting. Manage rule. I'm just going to select one of those. Manage rules. I'm going back here. I'm going to duplicate it. And instead of applying to this, I'm just going to apply it to that. That makes sense. And I'm going to put a purple instead. Not the font, the fill. I'm just going to put this purple here. And that should work. Perfect. Now, do it again. Select this. I didn't have to select everything. I could have just selected one because I just want to duplicate this rule. I duplicate this rule. I say this is applying now to this. Yes, that's it. And we are having a different color. We're putting this time a deep blue. Like this. Actually, I think for this, I'm going to go a bit stronger. I'm just going to put this. Just have a quick squeeze. If I remove all these, there's only the first week here. So that seems to be working. So I need to do some formatting. Now it just, we've put those a little bit bigger, and I think it should be more square. Put them a little bit bigger so we can see the numbers under it. So that might be better this way. We don't need this anymore. I'll remove it. I want to do some merging. So here, so I'll just select all this and I merge. Once I have merged, I can refer to the strength here. This way, if you decide to put something else, that will follow. I want to put, I want to put it in uppercase. So I'm just going to put in uppercase. I'm hoping that it's 𝐻𝐵, the function to use. So yes, so I just put that here. I put a deep, is that going to be sufficient? We'll see. That will do for the time being. Okay, I reserve the right to change this. I want those to stand out. So what I do is I do a very cheap 3D effect here. So I'm taking a very strong, actually the strongest here, and I apply it here. So you might not like it, so you can drop it. But for me, that helps really to have this stand out. Do the same here. So I just select some cells around. Don't take the cells bottom left or top right. And this way, that makes really an amazing 3D effect. Now I'm just going to put a very deep blue here. So I think it stands out a little bit more. Okay, so I think we need to do more merging now. So I want to do more merging for this one. And I want to do more merging for that one, because I want to bring back numbers again. So the sum, so we said we will bring back the total of exercise. Now, the total of exercise are here. So for instance, here I'm just going to put, for this one, I'm just going to put this. And I'm not going to bother with putting some formatting. I'm just going to put it here instead. So a percent here, I'm just adding the formatting itself. And I'm just going to put blank. And I'm just going to put exercises. If that went too fast for you, I think what I just did is I just selected the sum here. And I'm adding some text after, so I don't have to do a formatting. So this is doing the formatting itself. I'm just going to apply the deep green here, and I'm just going to put the white font. I'm going to put those a little bit bigger. I'm going to center this, maybe put a stronger font. What about the bold? Yes. Okay, so now what do I want to add? I want to add how many days I've been exercising here for this in total. So I'm just going to do a COUNTIF. I'm going to count the days if they were above 0. So here, COUNTIF, all this. And what is the condition? And I'm putting the condition here this way. And here we have 17. So, and here I'm using the same trick. Now, I want to do something a little bit different, maybe a different green for this one. So now I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to put all that here, and then I will just need to change things. So here, the exercises is filled here. And for the exercises, so here the number of days. Instead of counting all this, I'm going to count all that. The cardio part. So we don't need this text anymore. Whether you or not you want to keep this, it's up to you. I just need to format that. So here I would like to highlight today's date. You know, where are we on that? I just go to conditional formatting. I create a new rule. I use the formula, and the formula that I use is extremely simple. Is this field here? Say the first, because this applies to all this, so that will be moving along. If I remove the $, which I've just done. So if this is equal to today, and today the Excel function, which is today with empty brackets there. So if what do we want to do? We want to make it very clear that this is today's date. So I just put a red field, and the font I will put it in white. And that should work. So today the 13th, doing a bit of tidying up here. Now, I want to have an overall proportion of the amount of days that we have spent on strength, cardio, or balance. Not the amount of exercises, just the amount of days. Because obviously, if you go for a run, say in cardio, that's only one exercise, but that doesn't mean it was bad, especially if it's a long one. So I just need to calculate this again. The COUNTIF. So the COUNTIF, now that I have put some text after, I cannot use this as a field, unfortunately. So I'm just going to recreate this. And I'm going to put it somewhere. So COUNTIF 16 days exercises. You have 16 days here. I'm just going to put it again here and here. So now we have 16, 14, and 15. So that agrees with this, and I just want to put this as a chart. So I just press the I'm just going to remove this because it's a little bit confusing at the moment. Okay, I'm just click on 16, 14, and 15, and I put a pie, and I will do a right click, format series, and I'll go to pie explosion. Do I want to have a pie explosion? Maybe not. Actually, I'm not going to do a pie expression. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a white border. I do like it, so solid line, white, and I'm just going to put it quite obvious. So we should be seeing the border here. So now I'm just going to recreate the colors. So the first one was a strength. So I just click twice on this part, and I put the strength color. Actually, yes, I'm going to put the light one here. The second one, need to put the cardio color. And the third one, the blue. Just going to take this blue. I need to click on the chart itself, and I put the shade fill, no fill. And now we can see what's behind, and then days for each category, maybe category. And then here I could add the data label. Right click on it, add data label. Just going to put that at the top. Just going to select the three here. I'm just going to put a format, shape effect. I'm just going to put a shadow. So it stands out, a real shadow this time. And yeah, we could either have maybe this in white and have this in white, yes. Now, we could hide this data group, but before I hide it, I want to do something, because otherwise it's going to mess up my colors. I'm going to right click on this on the chart, select data. I'm going to hidden or empty cells, and I want to put show data in hidden rows and columns. Otherwise, when I click, it's going to remove the chart. So here, just put data. I've grouped them, so this way now I can remove this. This 16, is that useful information? No, I just removed it. Okay, so this is getting very close to being ready. I'm thinking something that'll be good is if we could say how many days we have exercise, because this is someday like this one here where you just don't do the strength, the cardio, but you're doing something. So let's say if we can have something here. So just if I, okay, I'm just going to add the three exercises here, the strength, the cardio, and the balance. I'm going to drag that across. And then I'm just going to count how many of those are 0, in fact. Because here, if I remove it, that should be a 0. So how many of those are not 0? Sorry. Count if all this. And greater than 0. So 18 here, this is quite good. So maybe I could put it somewhere here. Is equal to 18 and days of exercises. All right, so it's just making it a little bit more obvious. Let's put that here, here. Which type of background? I want a neutral background that is hasn't been used. What about this one here? And here I just need to add a space here. If you want, obviously, maybe you might want to have some borders here, some gray borders. So I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope you have fun with it.